Hi everyone, my name is Amber, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you all about my July TBR. So June was not the best month for reading. I was in a slump for a good 2 weeks of it. I really hope that July is better because I've got a ton of really great sounding books that I want to read and some review copies. So I really need to get back into reading. I'm recording this towards the end of June. I am coming out of my reading slump, so I have high hopes for July. So I'm going to tell you about the books that I'm going to be hopefully reading. Towards the end of the video, I also want to talk about my personal goals for July, so stay tuned for those. First book I really want to read in July is one that I have hauled recently. I don't think the book haul is up yet. It will be up after this TBR video, and that is The Immortalist by Chloe Benjamin. This one is about 4 siblings who go to see a psychic, and this psychic tells them that she knows when they're going to die and gives them the dates. So they have to choose how to deal with that, whether they believe it or not. They have to choose whether they want to ignore what she said or to kind of work with it. I don't know if this is going to be a really deep book. I hope it is, because I feel like it's got a lot of potential to talk about how you control your own life and you shouldn't waste your life and things like that. This does come very highly recommended. I know it's a very popular book, so I'm very excited to read it. Next, I really want to get to The Obelisk Gates by N.K. Jemisin. I read the 5th season a while back, so I'm going to have to read a recap before I do get to this one. But I'm so excited for this one. This is the second book in the Broken Earth trilogy. I'm very excited to see where things go from the end of the 5th season because it ended so well and kept me really intrigued. And I've put off reading this because I'm worried it's not going to be as good as the 5th season. I'm definitely excited to read it. Next, we're embarking on a journey, and I'm going to be rereading The Way of Kings Part 1 and Part 2 by Brandon Sanderson. I read these years ago, maybe like 5-6 years ago I think. I want to get caught up in time for the 4th book to come out in the autumn of this year. I've read both of these books before, and I've read half of Words of Radiance, but I haven't read the others, so I'm about halfway through the released books. I do have a recap up on Recaptains of these books, but I want to reread them because I feel like I'll get more out of it, and I remember loving this book. So I'm very excited to reread and continue on with the trilogy. I will be doing a reading vlog for these books, and I haven't decided yet if I want to do one vlog per book, both with and without spoilers, or if I want to do all 3 books in one and then release it closer to the release date of the 4th book. Let me know what format you would prefer. I think I'm kind of leaning towards doing one vlog per book if we're counting this as one book, which I guess we are. For those of you who don't know, this is part of the Stormlight Archive. It's Brandon Sanderson's kind of epic adventure. It's epic fantasy and it's pretty great, so I'm really looking forward to reading these. Next, I have Night Film, which is going to be one of the books that counts towards the Read the Olympics readathon that's currently happening. We're about halfway through now and I have a few gold medals already. I'll leave all the links to this below, by the way. And this one is going to count towards the mixed media format because it is told in mixed media, and I'm so excited. This is a thriller about someone who is either killed or goes missing, and then the detective or journalist who has to go and look for them. I've heard it's incredible and I really like the style of writing, and I've been wanting to check out more books that are told in mixed media format, so I'm very excited for this one. Next, we have The Last Astronaut. I picked this one because it's very short, and sometimes I'm really in the mood for sci-fi, but I don't want to get bogged down by a huge book, so I picked this one in case I'm in the mood for a bit of sci-fi this month, in between all of the fantasy books. On the back it says that a huge alien object has entered the solar system and is now poised above the Earth. It says here that it's a gripping near-future thriller that charts one crew's desperate struggle for survival in the cold vacuum of space, and I'm scared of space, so this should be quite fun to read for me. I think space is terrifying. I'm quite nervous about reading this one, but on the plus side it's quite short. If I do hate it, I won't be reading it for very long. Next, I have another short book that I have been meaning to get to for a while, and that is The Haunting of Sunshine Girl. It says here that it was based or as seen on the Haunting of Sunshine Girl network on YouTube. I don't know what that is, I'm gonna be honest. So maybe it was already a mockumentary on YouTube or something. I've no idea what it's about, but I got it for free when I went to a Macmillan publishing party, and I've had it for years, and I'm trying to read more horror and thrillers in anticipation for October, so I can give you some recommendations of what you could read, and I think it would be helpful for Spookathon as well, which happens in October. So I'm gonna give this one a go. Hopefully I like it, even though I don't know anything about it. It says here it's something about hauntings and spirits, which, you know, I should have probably guessed. So we've got 2 more physical books, and then I'm going to move on to my e-arcs that I really need to read because there are quite a few of those as well. The first one is The Book of M by Penn Shepherd. I don't know what this one is about, I'm going to be honest. I think I'm reading this one with my friend Kayla. I will leave her link below. It says here on the back that 2 years ago something called the Forgetting reached the United States. It says a shadowless man speaking perfect English walked straight into a fire, not remembering what it was. I don't know why it's important he speaks perfect English. Children with no silhouettes ask for flowers where the nearest waterfall flowed. Oh, ask flowers, sorry. Okay, so they talk to flowers. Maybe people start to lose their minds because of some virus, and that sounds very true to life and I'm quite looking forward to reading it. I haven't really heard much about this one. I've got a few friends who have picked it up, but I can't remember if they've liked it or if they've only hauled it rather than actually read it. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. It should be quite unique. And the final physical book that I have to read in July, almost forgot which month we're going into, is On Beauty by Sadie Smith. I got this one years ago in a charity shop and I just haven't picked it up yet, and I feel like in July I'm going to be in the mood for some more contemporary books, which is what this is. It says here that the main character is called Howard. He's in academic teaching. He is struggling to revive his love for his wife, and they have 3 teenage children. I think they're struggling to balance like life and them and themselves. I think it's a very personal story about marriage, and it's set in both the US and the UK. Honestly, I've read the first few pages and it does sound like something that I will really enjoy, so I'm looking forward to picking this one up. Now we're going to talk about the advanced readers copies that I want to read. I will be doing another NetGalley eARC check-in sometime in July or early August. It depends what my uploading schedule is like. So I'm just going to give you a brief idea of what advanced readers copies I have to read, and I guess we'll see which ones I end up getting to. So the first one is one that's coming out in August, so I'm definitely going to be reading this one, and that is The Space Between Worlds. I saw this on my friend Justine's channel. I'll leave a link to that below, and I was immediately intrigued because it's about parallel universes. This is a debut book as well, which is always a plus because I try my best to feature as many debut authors as possible on my channel and on my book blog. So from what I can tell, it's science fiction and it's about parallel universes. In this world, people can jump between different parallel universes, but only if your like other parallel self is dead, so there can't be 2 of you in one universe. It says here that the main character Kara is dead in all but 8, so that's interesting. I wonder how her other selves died. It says here that there were 380 realities that have been unlocked, so I guess they have to try to unlock others. I don't know, I think it sounds really good. I'm really into parallel universe books. It's one of my favourite topics in sci-fi, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I also have a review copy that I've already started, and that is Beekeeper of Aleppo. This is about a family from Syria and they become refugees. They have to travel to the UK and they're separated, and it's kind of just their story. And I've actually already started this one. I'm about 15% of the way through. I started it back in May for the Asian readathon, but then I got into my slump in June and just nothing was working out, so it's one that I really want to finish. And then I've got a non-fiction book called Stolen Lives, which is about how people are enslaved in the UK. So it's about slavery in England and Britain as a whole, I think. Stolen Lives examines trafficking and slavery in Britain, hearing from those on the front line, including the police and the charities involved with support and recovery. There are powerful and moving testimonies from survivors that reveal individual stories behind the headlines, and it charts one woman's terrifying and ultimately inspiring journey to freedom and independence. Finally, it shows us what we can do to make a difference. So this isn't really something that's spoken about that much in the UK, human trafficking. I think when people talk about it here, they very much pretend that it's kind of an Eastern European thing, or it only happens in South America. So I think it's probably going to be a very important book that brings to light the realities of the situation, and that our country isn't as great as everyone says that it is. And then finally, I have one that I really want to read because it's coming out in September, and I would like to kind of get ahead with my advanced readers copies, and that is The Cabin on Soldier Hill. It says here that Michelle and Cliff Stage, which is an excellent name. Michelle and Cliff Stage bought their isolated vacation cabin in the mountains of North Carolina with hopes of repairing their 18-year marriage. Isn't North Carolina one of the Olympics readathon prompts? I think it might be, so that would be perfect. Cliff disappears one night searching for the source of a mysterious light in the woods, and Michelle's life will change in unimaginable ways. So I think this is a thriller / horror book, and I'm very excited for it. Like I said, I'm doing a project where I'm trying to read a bunch of horror and thriller books so I can recommend them or not recommend them to you. This one I saw pop up on EW. So those are all the books that I'm hoping to read in July. It's very ambitious, but I think I can do it. My TBR is likely going to change because I really don't want to get into the same situation as I did in June by not doing mood reading, so I'm going to hopefully do a bit more mood reading and kind of get my act together when it comes to reading, because it really hasn't been great this past month or so. I think it's because I've had a lot of things going on in my personal life, which is a nice segue into the next section of this video, which is my July goals. So in June I said that I wanted to continue saving £1,000 a month, and I still want to do that in July. Our house buying situation has actually progressed from when I last spoke about it. I don't really want to talk about it too much in case I jinx anything, or, you know, in case things change, and then I'll have this video up and it will still be talking about things that never happened. But it is progressing, so I'm hoping to get most of that sorted in July, which is really exciting. I don't know if I'm going to be taking part in any readathons other than Read the Olympics. I think I might do Reading Rush, but I haven't seen the prompts for that yet, and I don't know, do I want to daily vlog? Maybe I do. It's just I don't really know. Firstly, how interesting those daily vlogs will be, because I can't go out and do anything still because of COVID, but also it's a lot of work and I've got a lot going on, so maybe I'll just do a weekly vlog for the Reading Rush. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, I'm not really doing any readathons. I want to get back into exercise because I've been slacking off lately with everything that's been going on. But my main goal is to sort out the house stuff in July, and then hopefully sit back and relax and just let it all happen. I'm really excited for July. I think it's going to be a good month. I hope the weather improves as well, because at the moment it's kind of dark and dreary. It doesn't really feel like summer, and I think that's been kind of getting to me as well. So that's it. Let me know in the comments below what your plans are for July, whether it's life stuff, personal stuff, reading. Let me know which books you're planning on reading, and if you've read any of these books as well, let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll speak to you all in my next one. Bye.